Guys, congratulations on this film. Something that I was kind of reading up, Dolph, the last time you worked in a Rocky film, I read that you basically put Sylvester Stallone in hospital.
Well, basically, I think basically you're right. I didn't know I did. I didn't mean to do it. We were fighting, and I was hitting him in the body quite hard because he wanted me to. He was the boss, and I was, working for him. And we were shooting in Vancouver, and I get back to LA, and the producer calls me, and he's like, "You get off. You got 2 weeks off." And I'm like, "Yes." And then Sly's in the hospital. It's like, shit, what happened? Damn. So I don't know if it was me or the hard schedule or too many girls. I don't know what was going on.
Because I was going to ask, were any actors harmed in the making of this film? Yes or no?
Well, I think this guy and Michael were both. You were in pretty bad shape for a while because of hard work.
I've been at the hospital twice. Mike once. He had some knee problems. I dislocated my shoulder once, and another problem with my elbow. So it was tough.
I know. Stallone got so mad. Remember, he almost fired the stunt coordinator because he showed up and what?
They had to put makeup on my face, and it took like an hour to put it on. And while they were doing it, I had my arm on something, and they put ice on it. And then they saw it, and then they panicked. And Stallone was like, "I fire everyone who's in charge for this and that."
Because they gave you like one aspirin. It's like, come on, man. This is like a $50 million picture. You gotta find something better than that. It's like, who's in charge of this shit? I got really mad. I got really mad.
That's my father.
I went straight in my trailer.
Okay, I got you.
Take this pill.
I mean, that was going to bring me on to my next question. What do you think the Drago secret is to that killer punch?
Well, it comes from the hips and the legs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Put a lot of pain behind the punch.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
In your case,
But even in your case too.
Yeah. Well, my character was a little more cold, like a machine.
That's
your
true.
character is more emotionally driven.
Yeah, that's true.
So it comes from pain a lot.
I mean, I think your characters were both machines. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, various versions of the same machine, I guess.
You can tell that every punch means something, right? We really want to hurt people. So.
Right, maybe let's not try that right now. But.
Well, I think the difference was, I mean, I was sort of looked after by the Soviet system, and he's looked after by his dad. So there's a little more, another emotional layer in this film as opposed to Rocky IV.
I was going to ask, how do you think you as an actor, how do you think you've improved since Rocky IV?
Well, I've done 69 more movies, so you get a little more experienced. And, just a few. I think, I don't know how much better of an actor I am, but I know that I've lived a full life, and I was ready to sort of access some of the pain I've had, that Ivan has had in his life, and rejection and desperation and things like that I try to show for this character, I mean, I did very well in Rocky IV because I was called on to do certain things that came easy to me. But in this film, I'm called on to do other things that would have been very difficult back then. But for instance, Florian, I mean, he was much more emotionally ready, I think, for this role that he was playing, and the director was really working with him as well, because his role had many more layers. Ivan Drago in the first one was like a killing machine, who just at the end cracks a little bit.
Yeah, it was kind of a therapy for me here. So I had some, let's call it unresolved issues from my past, and I was, relying on those negative moments in order to play the pain, in order to play this pain realistic and authentic. So those unresolved moments are now resolved, and like I said before, it was like therapy for me.
And finally, one line that Sylvester said, or Rocky said in the movie was, "You were raised in hate." What did it take for you guys as actors to get down to that level?
Well, it comes from pain, I mean, if you try to play hate from your head, you end up like a WWF wrestler, screaming, and it becomes very fake, like a cartoon. But if you feel pain for something that's been done to you, and you're angry from that reason because you're trying to make amends, you're trying to get revenge, you're trying to get back at people, which is more where we're coming from in this film. Yeah, you just got to reach that pain, and from there you can argue. Like if you argue with your partner, usually it comes from being hurt. It doesn't come from hating the person.
Exactly.
So hate is not really the correct word, I think. That's trying to simplify it a little bit.
Yeah.
I would say.
Perfect. Guys, thank you so much for your time.